Okay, hello guys. So what's going on? Today is just going to be a quick unboxing of my new Precon, which I bought. I did buy a Precon yesterday. Uh, yeah, but I wasn't really satisfied with it, so I'm buying this instead now. Then the reason why I'm buying these Precons is because I'm dabbling a lot on making my own decks. The problem though with it is that uh, I don't have much time anymore. So I've got two commanders now, which I'm dabbling on making decks for. This is one of them, and this is the other. They both got the same color schemes, and that's just coincidental. I don't know why it just happened like that, but there we go. One of them is a commander where you only get to attack to one side, and the other one gives opponents cards, and you get gain life and draw cards for how many cards of yours your opponents control. So pretty exciting stuff, but I don't got time to build these now. So, and I'm playing with my friends tonight, so I just needed a powerful deck, which fits what the playstyle that I like to play, and I found this. So I did buy Precon yesterday, and I was planning to include, well, at least this commander here, but I'm going to scrap that now and just play this deck as it is. And this seems pretty powerful. I may add now and see what's inside. Yeah, and there's a zippity doo here, so you can just do like this. Lead the way, it says here. So that's cool. And it includes well, sample pack. I haven't been impressed with these yet, but maybe that will change. And let's see if I can get this. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can get this out of the box real quickly for you. And there's a sort of a basic rundown of the rules, and you can see here the different colors. Yeah, an explanation of the themes that these different colors produce. Yeah. So this is the commander. I haven't taken it out of the plastic yet, but there you go. There is an alternative commander in here, but I've just decided to use this commander. It's pretty cool. She's got flying and vigilance and flurry, it says. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy that spell if it targets a permanent or player. And you may choose new targets for the copy. If you don't copy a spell this way, draw a card. So yeah. But that's only for the second spell, not the first one. So it's important to remember that. Yeah. What else is included in here? Oh yeah, there's a practical box which you can throw in the bin. And please remember to recycle. Yeah. But it's nice that they include them anyway, but I never use them, so I did actually use one to store my previous precon from yesterday. Yeah, so don't ask me what it was. I can't even remember the name of it, but it's one of the newer ones. Yeah, and it also includes some counter in a cardboard box, which I'm gonna take out later. Yeah. Okay, so let's get started with this thing. I haven't checked out the whole deck. I have seen some of it, and I know what it does, but I haven't looked at all the cards. So it's going to be exciting now to just check it out with you guys. And I'm short on time, so we should do this real quickly, I think. Yeah, there you go. And the commander is in foil, which is cool. So it's a nice foil to it. This is the second commander, but I find this commander to be a little bit underwhelming. So I'm not going to be playing her, even though she's okay. I think I'm actually just gonna take this commander out of the deck actually and find something else. Because, oh well. But we'll see what happens. Okay. A little fun card there for a basic rundown of the rules of Magic the Gathering and the different formats and rundown of the rules. So that's cool. So we're going to start from top to bottom here. So we're starting with the lands. There are 5 mountains and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands, I believe it was. Islands, sorry. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 planes then. And you have no maximum hand size, which is nice to have. And Perilous Landscape. Sacrifice this land, search your library for a basic island, mountain, or plains card. So that's cool. Land fetch is also always nice to include in one of these decks. Okay, so it produces a land, and if I use this to pay for something that is in my commander's name or type, then I can scry 1. And this commander is Human, Spirit, and Dragon. So that's kind of cool. Land cycling and a generic mana there. Yeah. And we got some mana stones in here. That's cool. Always nice to have some extra mana stones in case you run dry of mana. Boros Signet. I've seen better artworks of Boros Signet, to be honest, but I guess it's okay. Azorius Signet. Sorry, man, I don't speak the language. And here we're starting with it's a creature, Human Monk. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 colorless soldier artifact creature token, which is nice. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, put one of them on the bottom of your library, and exile one of them. You may play the exile card this turn. So it's nice to cast this spell if you have some mana. So don't cast it if you have no mana left. So you need to be wary of that. But it is a sorcery, so it's a sort of a given. There, that's cool. Another land, but this land produces all 3 types afterwards. It enters tapped though, so that's a bit of a shame. Sacrifice this land, search your library for a basic land, put it into the battlefield tapped, and shuffle. Okay, so there's lots of lands in here. That's good. This creature gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token. Okay, so I can create treasure tokens, I guess. And that's cool. And my commander lets me do that a lot. Enchanted creature gets 2/2 and is goaded. It attacks each combat if able, and attacks the player other than you. Okay. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, you create a treasure token. Okay, so there's some treasure token stuff going on here. This is cool. It's Mana Geyser, so I throw this when my opponents have lots of lands tapped. Yeah. And that gets me one of these for each tapped land my opponent controls. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent. That's also quite cool. So it's a nice way to kill off my opponents real quick. And I want to do that, of course. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. And this has flashback as well, but it costs 2 more for its flashback cost. Enchant player. Whenever enchanted player is attacked, create a gold token. Okay. Each opponent attacking the player does the same. The gold token is an artifact with sacrifice this token. Add 1. Okay. a bit aggressive that, but I think I'm actually gonna put that in my maybe pile right away. I'm gonna do that with the other commander as well if I find him or her. There we go. Maybe pile. That's a bit aggressive, I think, for our group. It's a bit toxic, so I think I'm gonna remove that. As an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card, draw 2 cards, and create 2 treasure tokens. That's cool. So already I've started with the Bingly Bangly Boo. Removing cards. A Braid deals 3 damage to target creature or destroy target artifact. That's fair. What's this? Draw a card, flashback. That's awesome. Think twice. Yeah. I think there's a song actually. Scry 2, then draw a card. Cool. So there's actually, wow, there's some cheap cards in here. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Its controller creates a 3/3 green ape creature token. That's actually something I could have in another deck of mine. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle. Draw a card. Okay. And I checked the rules on this. You put the cards back in any order, but if you're not satisfied with any of the cards, you can shuffle the whole thing. Scry 1, draw a card. That's cool. Lots of cheap stuff going on in here, and that's nice. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, untap 2/3 lands, untap up to 3 lands. Okay, so lots of stuff going on in there. Yeah. Target player draws 2 cards, and you may pay its flashback cost, but then you pay 3 life as well. But I guess that's, I don't know if it's any life gain in here. But Surveil 1. So surveilling is basically just you're looking at the card, you either keep it or you put it into your graveyard, and then you draw a card. Yeah. Compulsive research, target player draws 3 cards, then that player discards 2 cards unless they discard a land card. Okay. Exile target creature, it contains life equal to its power. Nice. And this one I love. Enchantment. Creature can't attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking. I might actually add propaganda in here as well, and that will make it even harder for people to attack me. Add 1 mana of any color to your commander's color identity. Cool artwork there, I must say. Soul Ring. I've seen better Soul Rings in my life, but I guess it's okay. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color's identity. That's also quite cool. Instant sorcery spell call you cost 1 less to cast, so that's always awesome to have. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. Nice. A land that enters tapped. When this land enters, scry 1. That's cool. I love to scry. Gives me more options and speeds up the deck. This land enters tapped. When this land enters, scry 1. That's also quite cool. The same as the other one. This land enters tapped. When this land enters, scry 1. Wow. Lots of scry stuff going on in here. Nice. This land enters tapped unless you control an island or a mountain. Very cool. And this land is 2 for 1. And this land, well, it's a generic mana, but if you deal 1 damage to you, you can get an island or a mountain, which is nice. Yeah, cool. Basic lands. So you need to have some basic lands for that one to work properly. And here you can cycle and draw a card. So nice. This land enters tapped unless you control a plains or an island. Okay. There's lots of lands in here. Ferrous Lake. Okay. What I'm gonna do with all these lands? Add 1 mana of any color. A land produce controls. Okay. Sorry. Add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. So it copies a land from an opponent then. Yeah. Yeah. What you see is what you get, man. Where's all the creatures at? There's only lands now. But, I mean, lands are important, but Jesus. How many lands are we going to have in here? A Darker Wastes. Okay, here we go. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, draw a card. That's awesome. And it's an enchantment. A good enchantment at that. Okay, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Varen gets 1+1 until end of turn. Okay. If you're casting or copying an instant or sorcery spell causes a trigger ability of an permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Okay. So interesting. Okay. Flying Vigilance Haste. Whenever Villamush's Lorehold attacks, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value less than or equal to Villamush's Lorehold power from among them without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And the cat swans inside. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna let in the cat. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see your. Hi, how are you? I only saw your name there. Sorry about that. Okay, Time Warp. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand, then destroy all creatures. That's nice. A sort of a board wipe. Choose 2. Prismary command deals 2 damage to any target. Target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards. Target player creates a treasure token. Okay, nice. And just realize the potential here. If that's my second spell I cast because of this commander, which I'm going to use, then I can do this spell 1 more time. So I choose 2. Prismary command deals 2 damage to any target. Target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards, okay? And then I do the same thing again, so it's pretty awesome. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, copy that spell if it's targets a permanent or player, and you may choose new targets for the copy. If you don't copy a spell this way, draw a card. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Magma Opus. Magma Opus deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. Tap 2 target permanents. Create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. Draw 2 cards. So lots of stuff going on there, but it's a bit expensive though. Costs 8 to get out there. Yeah. But if I throw a cheap one first, okay, let's say I have 9 lands now. So throw this. Okay, I have to have 11 lands. Sorry, my math is screwed. Okay, 11 lands, and then I throw this, but I copy it, so I get to do it 1 more time. So lots of potential in this deck, and that's why I bought it. And I love playing like this. Throwing spells and just going bananas. Okay. Copy target instant or sorcery spell with mana value 4 or less. You may choose new targets for the copy. And Explosion deals X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards. Yeah. So that's basically it, man. First Strike Menace. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell, each turn you may cast a spell with lesser mana value that shares a card type with it from your hand without paying its mana cost. If you don't, create a first mate Revagon, a legendary 2/1 red monkey pirate creature token. It gains haste until end of turn. Okay. So lots of stuff going on there. Hard to keep track of it, but sounds cool. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create an X-X red dragon illusion creature token with flying and haste, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Exile that token at the beginning of your next end step. Okay. An extra dominance deals X damage to any target. You may cast a spell with mana value X or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Choose one or more target counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Create a token as a copy of target creature you control. Target player draws a card. So here you can choose one or all if you want. Yeah. Oh well. Kicker. You may pay an additional 5 as you cast this spell. Create a token as a copy of target creature. If that spell was kicked, that means it costs 9. Create 5 of those tokens instead. Wow, okay. So that's awesome. Now this is really cool. I was considering using this as my commander, but it's a bit expensive and I think this commander is the better choice. But here we go. What it reads is this. Spells can't be countered. So yeah. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard has flashback. The flashback cost is equal to that card's mana cost. So you automatically add flashback to all your spells. So that's awesome. But it's only instants and sorceries, just so you know. Yeah. This creature is flying, and this creature's power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. And instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So this deck is good right from the get-go. Exile target creatures, X-target creatures, yeah. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green boar creature token. Curse of the Swine, yeah. Paralysis expertise, return up to 3 target artifact and/or creatures to their owner's hands. You may cast a spell with mana value 4 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Really cool. Magecraft, whenever you cast a copy or instant, whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. Yeah. Ancestral Vision, so you can suspend it for 1, or you have to do it actually. You have no other choice. Target player draws 3 cards after 4 rounds. Human Monk. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess. Okay, so you can flood the board with these monks then. Lifelink, whenever an opponent attacks, here's lifelink, so I get some life gain in this deck. That's good. Whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more of those creatures are attacking you and or planeswalkers you control, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts their second spell each turn, draw a card. Okay. For each opponent, destroy up to 1 target artifact, enchantment, orange. Okay. Destroy up to 1 target or enchantment that player controls. And I can cycle it and then destroy all artifacts and enchantments. So that's awesome. Nacelle Reversal. Copy target instant or sorcery spell, then return it to its owner's hand. You may choose new targets with a copy. Really cool. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Destroy all creatures. Okay, so it can cost a maximum of 8 and a minimum of 2, which is cool. And I was missing a board wipe in here, so it's good to see one. Choose one if you control a commander. As you cast a spell, you may choose both instead. Each player may discard their hand and draw 5 cards. Each instant and sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until end of turn. The flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. So I can begin to understand why I have so many lands in this deck now. Demonstrate. When you cast a spell, you may copy it. If you do choose an opponent to also copy it, players may choose new targets for their copies. Destroy target artifact or creature you don't control. If that permanent is destroyed this way, its controller exile cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. Then they may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Okay. When you recast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 counter on this creature, then this creature deals damage equal to its power to target opponent. Okay. But does it do it more than once, or? Okay, another one of those cards I need to read up on. Voracious Bibliophile. Flying Vigilance. Whenever you cast a spell with 1 or more targets, draw that many cards. Very good. And this says Flash. I can cast it whenever. When this dragon enters, if you cast a counter target spell, if that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard, then you may cast it without paying its mana cost. Really, really good. Adaptive Training Post. When you recast an instant or sorcery spell, if this artifact has fewer than 3 charge counters on it, put a charge counter on it. Remove 3 charge counters from this artifact. When you next cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it, and you may choose new targets with a copy. Very good indeed. Storm. When you cast this spell, copy it. For each spell you cast before it this turn, you may choose new targets for the copies. Copies become tokens. Okay. Enchant creatures you control. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. Okay. Oh well, okay. And last but not least, then we have Aligned Heart. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, put a rally counter on this enchantment, then create a 1/1 white monk creature token with a prowess for each rally counter on it. Whenever you cast your second spell, then put a rally counter on this enchantment, then create a 1/1 white monk creature token with prowess for each rally counter on it. Okay. It took a while, but I understood it in the end. Okay, so here we go. These are the tokens included in this deck. There's a treasure token, nice to have, since there's a bit of treasure token requirement here. There is a monk, and it looks like that. Really cool. Elemental. Yeah, nice. Monk again. Copy, so it's just a token that shows it's a copy. Soldier. Gold. So I got some gold here. That's cool. And with the prices of gold now, it's even better. Yeah. And on the back, it's elemental. 1/1. Another monk showing his boobs to the world. And flying haste. Dragon illusion. Another treasure token. First mate, Regan. So there we go. Looks like that. He's first mate. Yeah. Another elemental right there. Another monk. He's not showing his boobs, it's just showing off. And copy. And a soldier. Some more gold for me. That's cool. An elemental. A monk. He's not showing anything. You should go home and take a nap. And Dragon Illusion again. Yeah. So nice. These tokens, they're not always on par, but I think on this set, they're really good. And then we have this. It's the collector booster sample. It's just random stuff. Can be anything. Don't know. Gonna open it and see what's what. Gonna open it and try not to damage the cards inside, of course, with my trusty knife here. Can I do that without making a fool of myself here on YouTube? I think I did. I think I didn't. I managed to not make a fool of myself. So there's some info there. There's more where that came from, it says. So you can just go back to the store and spend more money. That's basically what they're saying. They should never have given us this much power. Okay. And you got 5 seconds to scan this code. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I think I might actually have struck gold here. I'm not too sure, but I'm sure this land is pretty expensive. It looks expensive. I don't know. Maelstrom of the Spirit Dragon. I might actually include this in my deck here. Add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a dragon spell or an omen spell. I believe I have some dragons in here. Sacrifice this land. Search your library for a dragon card. Reveal it. Put it into your hand and shuffle. Yeah. So that's actually pretty cool. I never actually experienced getting a card of value in these booster decks because there's only 2 cards, but this was pretty epic. Yeah. Okay, and then we have this. It's foil. Riling Dawnbreaker. Signature Roar. Create a 2/2 white soldier creature token, flying vigilance at the beginning of combat on your turn. Another target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Okay. So yeah. Not too bad. Okay, that's it. That's my unboxing of Tark here. I'm much more impressed with this deck than I was with the one from yesterday. Jeskai Striker. Really cool. And and the reason I bought it is that I have no more time to dabble on these decks which I create myself. I needed a precon which was powerful enough to survive my friends, and I believe this is it. I have found a good precon. I'm just gonna change out a couple of cards here. I'm gonna change out this and this because it's a bit toxic, and we're friends, so I don't want to troll my friends too much. Yeah. There you go. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider becoming a member of this channel. It really helps me out. It lets me do more of this stuff, play Magic the Gathering and buy stuff and show it to you, and my thoughts on it and suggestions for how you can make your decks better and all that. Thanks to my members, Sam Wall and Big Boss. Thank you both for being members of this channel. And to those who watched this video, thank you for watching. Have yourself a really nice weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.